Hi, folks. Welcome to the Prepared Homestead. This is Travis. Thank you all for stopping by to watch. Well, there's two things that's kind of big in the news today. And they're two things that we're all tired of. No one wants to hear about it. Probably going to roll your eyes a little. At least some of you are. But there may be something to it. I think we need to pay a little bit of attention to it. We'll hit the first one. In one way, these seem completely unrelated. But as we all know, and have learned over the last several years, nothing's really unrelated, right? Nothing's just coincidental. The first one is COVID. I don't know. Can we talk about that now on YouTube? I don't know. I mean, they've been slapping me around quite a bit here lately, but hey, we're going to try it again anyways. Apparently, COVID is making a comeback. There's a new variant. I know, a new variant. NB1 point blah, blah. I don't know. It doesn't matter. It's a new variant, and they're saying that this thing is just taking over. That it's all over the place. It's in several states in the southern United States, China, Thailand, Canada, all over. Thailand is claiming that they are so overwhelmed, like tens of thousands of cases a day. Some places have shut their schools down. They've gone to, virtual learning stuff. I mean, it sounds like the same kind of thing that we, went through 5 years ago. Now, I know you're probably all saying, oh goodness, it's another variant of the cold. I'm not saying it's not, okay? CDC's already put out warnings on it. A lot of the same players that were big during the whole, COVID-19 stuff has already come out warning that this could be the big deal, that this looks really bad. It's very contagious. I've not seen anything too much about how serious of an illness it is. But it's interesting that this is happening just as in the last week or so. I don't know if you've been paying. I haven't mentioned it, I don't think. I don't recall mentioning it anyways. But in the last week or two, the FDA has removed the COVID thingy from a lot of suggested or required, list. I've been out, just got done doing a bunch of mowing, so I always get congested and allergies and dust and all that kind of stuff. But anyways, so I may sound a little coughy and sneezy. So in the last week or so, they've said that, if you're healthy, if you're pregnant, if you're a kid, all these things, you don't need it, shouldn't have it. They've come out saying that for young men, males, that it can potentially lead to myocarditis. There's all this stuff just in the last week or two that's come out about that. And it seems kind of strange that all of a sudden there's another scare. Maybe it's nothing, but maybe it's planned of like, so we're going to deregulate, take it off of the lists and everything, so people will stop doing it, and then we're going to come out with another one and say, see, you got it. This is terrifying. Everybody needs to go do their dookie duke thing. There's already been calls for people to get their boosters. This may be nothing, but it's strange that just in the last probably 24 to 48 hours. I mean, I saw some reports of this a few days ago from other countries, but in the last 24 to 48 hours, it's really picking up steam online. So just something to keep in your, peripheral, because I would not put it past them if they try to slam us with another one. I mean, it worked well the first time Trump was in office. Maybe it'll work well this time. And the thing is like I've said all along, I know what a lot of you are saying, because I think the same thing. The first one, it wasn't that big of a deal. The reaction was way worse, right? Some people, definitely suffered, had problems, and didn't make it. But overall, I think it was, a lot of other factors, right? at some point, it's very possible that whatever pandemic happens could actually be the real deal. Just saying. But anyway, so that's going on. And then at the same time, in the last 24 hours, it seems as though the conflict between Russia, Ukraine, NATO, and us just kind of, and everything is saying that it's because of Trump's tweets, his social media post. He posted something online. I'll try to put it somewhere up here. Basically saying that if it wasn't for him, that the whole thing with Russia would be a lot worse, and that Russia should be appreciative and get themselves in line. I'm paraphrasing, that Putin needs to get himself in line and come to the table, because it could be a really, really bad deal. Like, it'd be really bad if the United States got involved. That's not exactly what he said, but that was definitely the implying. Within an hour, maybe it was coincidental, but within an hour after him posting that, Russia launched a massive ballistic missile strike against several major cities throughout all of Ukraine, not just the eastern side, all of Ukraine. And several NATO countries have said in the last, like yesterday and stuff, that they were taking off any restrictions of Ukraine using their weapons, meaning that their long-range missiles, there's been restrictions. Ukraine hasn't been allowed to use those long-range missiles past a certain point. Basically, they can't use them deep inside of Russia, okay? They've taken off all those restrictions, and just earlier today, NATO is claiming that the United States, because Trump did say that he was considered doing that. He was considering taking the restrictions off of any U.S. weapons for Ukraine. And NATO has said that that has happened. So Ukraine basically can use all these weapons. And just recently, it was just a few weeks ago, the president approved a big whole batch of Patriot missiles and HIMARS and stuff sent over to Ukraine. So basically all the restrictions now are off. Ukraine can potentially use these long-range missiles deep inside of Russia. And you remember this. Ukraine is not using these missiles completely on their own, these systems. They have to have United States or NATO assets there directing them, running the systems, getting the intel, the coordinates, all this kind of stuff. So it's not like Ukraine is using these systems and to bomb Russia all on their own. They're using these systems along with help from the United States or NATO countries or to bomb Russia. The president has announced that probably in the next few days, there'll be a whole bunch of new sanctions on Russia. And then Dmitry Medvedev, who is the deputy chairman of the Security Council for Russia, has fired back. He kind of is a mouthpiece for Russia. I don't know if you've known that, but he's kind of the mouthpiece. Putin is very restrained in what he says. He doesn't get in this tit for tat back and forth stuff. But there are certain people within the Russian government that do. So he's one of them. And for the first time that I am aware of, since all this started, Russia now has dropped the World War III threat. He fired back at Donald Trump's tweet, post, whatever it is, and said, you need to be careful, because the only thing that we can think of that would be a really, really bad thing would be World War III. So be careful, or something like that. So several people online that really follow this, and these are not anti-Trump people. These are pro-MAGA, pro-Trump people, are saying that basically the relationship has pretty much been severed, it looks like. And that at this point, anything's possible, that we may get very heavily involved in this now. Now, of course, this could all be an act, kind of like the one that Trump has turned his back on Israel. I still think it is. I mean, I could be wrong, but I think so. That could be the thing here. or it could be real. Now, I know some of you, because we've dealt with this war for 3 years, so I've kind of kept track of how you guys think in the comments, and it's probably a good 50-50. Some of you think that Russia has the capability of stomping NATO into the ground and giving the United States a really, really good run for its money and maybe, doing really bad things. And some of you think that Russia is on the verge of collapsing and their military is not very capable and they can't even take Ukraine. And NATO and the United States would stomp Russia into the ground. It's a matter of opinion. Russia has a pretty capable military. Russia has been building it up. They have a lot of war experience now. Our military and NATO does not. So just think about that. They also have North Korea and Iran that could potentially back them up. I think it's a serious situation. I think it is. And you may hate me for saying this, but hey, guess what? I'm used to it on here. It's funny. I'll make a video that doesn't, that says one thing, I'll say on a certain topic, and everyone likes it, and I start getting subscriptions, people subscribe, and then the next day I'll make a video and I'll criticize something that Trump has done, and then all of a sudden, people are unsubscribing. It's kind of silly. Why people can't handle, being critical of Donald Trump's actions. Anyways, I think one of the big things that could play a big factor in this is that Donald Trump is, like it or not, he's very sensitive when it comes to his ego. He does not like to be, put down. He does not like to be made out like he's failing, or people don't like him, or people don't respect him. And if Russia starts playing that card, or if Trump feels like that Russia is no longer respecting him or whatever, yeah, we could become very much more involved. I mean, we still are. Here's the thing. As much as you want to say that Trump's done this or that with the, Ukraine-Russia conflict, we have still been sending them stuff. I know there was a little time period that Trump put a pause on it, but we've still been sending them all kinds of weapons over there. And that pause, we've kind of made up for it. And he's even threatened. The president has threatened to send way more to Ukraine than Biden ever did. So keep that in mind. The next few days could get serious. And like I said, Russia is really hammering Ukraine. And now that Ukraine has no restrictions on their weapons, Ukraine may fire back soon, today, tonight, tomorrow, using those long-range weapons deep inside Russia. And I would say that especially if Moscow were to start getting struck by Western-made missiles, American, French, German, yeah, that's going to be a big, big deal. I think that could be a major change in the war. So these two things are happening. They may seem completely independent, but probably unlikely. And I think we need to be prepared for them, because things are changing pretty rapidly, especially with this whole Russia thing. It looks like it has the potential to get really nasty soon. So I guess we'll have to wait and see, folks. It's time to get your houses in order and prepare yourselves mentally, physically, and spiritually. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next video.